easy to listen or watch our show.
Those darn aliens.
That was
All
a
right.
European DJ.
Let me just say this, if I may. I took some notes.
I know. I know what the notes were.
Let's just go through a few things for the fans. First of all, Rachel.
Can I just say before Stephen starts, my name is Dave. Can I just say?
That's right. Your name is Dave. That is very
You've
true.
seen that movie, right? Have you
I
seen
have
it?
with Eddie Murphy. With Eddie
Would
Murphy. Okay.
I not see a movie that's made about me?
That's
Would
right,
I not see a movie?
It's not with Eddie Murphy.
Let me just start with a few things. One, we know now Rachel is an igloo child, which is very exciting. Two,
Not
an igloo child.
It's an
igloo. Igloo child, like the Eskimos live in. I got it. Stop. I also see, looking at these alien dildos, that they have small penises. So I don't know why you want the aliens. And I'm just saying those peanuts, they're very small. I don't understand that. And the four of you have sick sex fantasies, which I applaud. The other thing is this God that you keep talking about, that's a fable. Time to grow up. And the other thing is that if you read the Sumerian text, they will tell you how we came into being is because.
Oh God, he's going to quote his book again.
No.
This book called The World, and it explains.
No, that's not in the world. That's not in the world. But there's a book about the Sumerians, and in the Sumerians, it talks about how we were created. And the Vasharami, which I'll never pronounce right, which is an Indian book, it talks about how we were created, the flying carpets and whatnot. So a lot of this stuff's already been done. And then finally, when you're talking about multi-dimensions, there's a paper that was written in 1984 by a general for the CIA. It's called the Gateway Project, and it talks about the absolute. So there you go. Now, please continue with your sick, disgusting, perverted fantasies because we're going to make a movie and we're going to produce that. So it's very exciting. I'm very excited about it.
I misquoted the movie. It's Paul. Dave is the Eddie Murphy alien movie, which is also an alien movie. But the one I was thinking of was Paul.
But Paul is as an alien doesn't look like a human. Paul is the one that looks like an alien with Seth Rogen playing the voice.
That does the movie.
And the two actors.
He's like a movie producer, right?
He calls Steven Spielberg, and they talk about E.T. and Phone Home and The Finger.
Yes.
I've seen that movie.
So I crossed them.
But I'd just like to say that the movie called Dave was great, because I'm up for any movie.
There's actually two movies called Dave, by the way. There's Dave with Eddie Murphy, and there's Dave with Calvin Klein. Or Kevin Klein, I'm sorry. And he plays the president.
Where he's the president. The president.
Correct.
Yeah.
Right.
But he's very well dressed in.
Obviously. I know no movies.
Listen, you're an igloo child. I don't even know if you have electric. I don't even know.
Igloo child.
Indigo, not ego.
Indigo, Stephen.
Indigo, potato. It's all the same. Anyway.
Do you know how to say all our names correctly?
Not a friggin' clue. I can't even say David's name half the time correctly. Are you joking? So I have partners. From my old company that they'll tell you to this day that I still can't get their names right. And they're simple names like, Leon and Sandy and Dave and Paul.
Well, you can't be bothered.
Well, no, I'm making them up because I can't pronounce their real names. So here you go. So no, I struggled through it, but I thought it was a fascinating show.
Some people have make believe names, like some people have make believe surnames like Zzz, for instance.
Vicky,
Vicky Zzz.
Yeah, so there you go.
Is that the name? Is that a name? Or the sound
maybe
of
I'm a lizard person,
and
that's how I talk.
Yeah. But the question is it a name or the sound of a dildo? That's what I want to know.
There you go. I think it's a good picture.
No, it's not the sound of a dildo because dildos don't make sounds. It'd be the sound of a vibrator.
God.
I
gotta make a note.
So the experts
weigh in. Weigh in.
Yeah. You must go and look for all the dildo companies that make alien dildos and get sponsored. Ask them to send us some alien dildos.
We would like for it. We'll do a call out now to anybody who's watching this in Holland. We've been trying to get in touch with a Dutch company called Easy Toys.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
Are just we did. Who are, shall we say, not ashamed to illustrate the products which they sell. So, so if you come to Holland and you go around, you see like a little van driving around with an enormous dildo on the roof. it would be their advertising.
That's either
truck
David's
for-
car or Easy Toys. You could go either way. So there you go. And
Yeah.
for the people in
We
the
have
United
one
States,
here. It's
Private.
the Oscar Mayer van.
Yeah. Well, Private is one of the largest adult toy makers in the world. So Private, if you're watching
you're
in
doing
Barcelona,
call-outs to them
Spain,
as well?
I'm sure. I love
Do it-
Private. I used to do stuff with them back in the 90s. So yeah.
Well, there you go.
Ooh.
Well,
When we
that's
had our
probably
adult
why they want-
entertainment, company. That's a show for another time, ladies. Calm down. So,
Yay.
but after these sick fantasies, we're revamping that company. But anyway, on the alien subject, and Vicky, I'm kidding. Everybody wants to be fingered by an alien with 27 fingers, apparently. Anal probes, which you don't have to be an alien to get, apparently. Unless you're in Key West, you just turn a bar stool upside down.
Well,
But
Randy's
I
just
think-
like, I never said. She's
Right.
like, I never said I wanted-
She's like a pure, like I said, the first time
No,
we met, she's
I'm
like a pure
not.
Southern girl. She's like, I'm getting the
I am
vapors,
not.
Mr. Smith. I'm getting the vapors. So
Look at this.
I am not pure, but
He just doesn't know, not sure about the alien.
all I think, the other thing is, I could see the new app coming out. It's like, if you're an alien and you want to bang an Earth chick, you should just literally go from the movie. Earth chicks are easy. They'll bang you because
Earth
it'll be
girls are
something
easy.
different because
Yeah.
you know that they're going to go to the bar that night and go, you know what, I fucked a guy from Venus. Oh my God. Yes, I got it. Yeah, it's something different. And for you guys, I understand that we've been talking to some dating apps to put you on. We're trying. Apparently, the ones that we want to put video on are illegal to publicize. And so we're trying. But, I can see an alien app like a lizard person, or apparently Rachel now is getting wet over a Nordic person. So we can just take you to Norway. It's not a big deal. Or Sweden. Ranji, we're not really sure because she's all of a sudden a virgin. Noosh is with Michael. So good luck with that.
Well, listen,
and-
no. Let's be true.
Yeah.
Let's make facts.
Okay.
Aliens. I like Nordic blonde aliens.
Okay.
Aliens. I mean, I gotta see.
Any penis will do. I got it. No problem. Okay. So,
No.
No.
Not
Do you have a pulse?
Not any penis. I have
Okay.
no preference.
Yes. Do you walk around with a ruler and going, can you measure up, sir?
I don't
Anyway.
need a ruler.
Okay.
I don't
Right.
need a ruler.
Must be this tall to ride this.
So this ride, anything over
Well, it's a
5'5".
bit, they're a bit like carpenters, aren't they?
about
They just
height.
they could do it. They could just do it with the eye. And you think, well, that's roughly about this.
It's the same. Guys do the same thing. We check everything out with the eye. But I'm
That's true.
fascinating
That's true.
that, and the other part
Eyes,
of the show, which I
breasts,
found,
crotch.
yeah. Oh, that's crotches. We'll get into that later. The other thing that fascinated me about this is that when in the 60s, I'm talking about the 1360s when I was growing up, people were fascinated about this subject. But now, and we talked about this yesterday, it's 2023. Between TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, I don't know, 47 other channels that are out there, nobody cares because
Yeah, true.
it's in
I'm
our life
amazed.
every day. We see and here's a part of it, I think, is because no one trusts the government. The other part of it is there's so much video out there and so many whistleblowers that are dying that were around for, if you will, the 40s incidents and the 50s that are coming forward. Astronauts, Edgar Mitchell. I forgot the other one that just came out the other day. There's tons of astronauts that are saying, we saw them. They're there. This is what's on the moon. And they're telling you there's a guy that worked at NASA that had pictures from NASA that they didn't doctor that shows bases on the moon, if you will. So I think everybody knows it. I think now everyone's like, okay. And in 2019, to Noosh's point, on CNN, the press conference at the Pentagon, when the guy said, we have off-world vehicles in our possession and biologics. Okay. We know this. So now what? So to your point yesterday, someone said, well, they're trying to prepare us, take our eyes off of something worse. Well, we already got global climate. We're past the 1.5C, so we're already blowing up our planet. So, I don't think they're taking our eyes off of it.
That's not important either.
Nothing's important. That's the whole thing, right?
What's important is the price of gasoline and whether or not whether or not the price of a hamburger goes up.
McDonald's index. That's what the Economist uses every year. The McDonald's index.
Can I go somewhere I can buy even cheaper clothing than I'm already wearing?
So depressing. What's wrong with us?
Because the alien. Listen, I'm waiting for the overlords to come, and if not, at least HAL 2000. Because ultimately, at this point, we suck as a society and a planet. We have not we have not stewarded this planet well. So when the lizard people come, my people, because they're all Jews, just like me, when we take over, it's fine. But if you go back to the very beginning, and I'm not talking the make-believe fable that you brought up, But when you go back to the very beginning, nobody can tell you. And
hey, you have your opinions. I got my opinions. My theory.
I know, I understand, and yours is and yours is wrong. So, but the
you can't even pronounce it.
God, Wolf, dog, as David likes to call him. But if you go back to the beginning,
it's a typo. It's a typo.
Yeah, it's a typo. I think it was.
It was originally done by somebody with
dyslexic people like David and I. That's why I can't pronounce names. But if you go back to the very beginning, and I'm not talking the book or whatever, but if you go back to the beginning, no one can tell me about the beginning. You can't tell me God, you can't tell me Big Bang, and you can't tell me strength. The reason is because if you meet an alien, let's say, and I say, where are we from zero? Where are you from zero? There's still a zero. There's something that really began it all. My joke has always been, we're going to die and we're going to find out where some alien's son's science project, and he's gonna be like, oh God, another one. So it's this belief on the guy with the beard. No, the belief in everything else. No, the gateway paper. I almost am okay with it because of how it describes everything and what they found multidimensional and whatnot. And that goes to Skinwalker Ranch and all this other stuff.
Stephen, you don't want to be alone.
No, it's science. I look at
something bigger.
Not really. I could care less because when I die, I die. Einstein said it best. I was dead 14 billion years before I was here, and I'll be dead another 14 billion years after. So I look at it the same way. If I die now and there's nothing after, I won't know. But if there's something like the absolute,
if you die now, we won't go to year 2 of the 2 old farts, will we?
We're on year 2 now.
Oh, by the way, happy anniversary.
Thanks.
Yes,
this is our 1 year anniversary. Yes.
I forgot to mention that on the show.
Well, I thought I'd get the segue in there somewhere along the line.
There you go. It's year 3, by the way, Dave. Yes, yeah. But no, I'm just saying. I think part of the thing people want to believe in God or in aliens because there's got to be more to us, and I believe there's more to it. Will we find out in our lifetime? Maybe not. Will they find out at some point if we don't destroy the Earth? Yes. Elon, you can go to Mars. I don't care where he goes. I could care less what this guy does.
He's calling home. He changed the Twitter logo.
I know, to an X. Yep. Yeah. and now he's suing a racial group over that as well. So there you go, because I hate group. So,
but the really good thing is that he's going to have to take the X down because all these neighbors are bitching about light pollution. So and he didn't have the right papers for the council to put it on. So it's coming down the X.
Hold on, coming back to the beginning of all. Remember the ending in Men in Black, where
the kids are playing marble at the end.
That's totally believable.
Rachel hasn't seen it. Rachel, do you have like, I don't know, something called the internet? There's this thing called Netflix and Max, and you can watch all these shows.
No, I watched Men in Black.
Watch the end.
This is the problem. I've always been on painkillers, so anything that I watch, I don't remember.
Might want to explain that one, Rach.
Yeah, and you have problems.
That sounds like all my school.
So
we'll send you a video like this. We can probably find it on YouTube, but basically,
it's on Max now.
It zooms out of New York. It zooms out of our galaxy. It zooms out of all our solar system, and it ends up in one marble that ends up in the hand of an alien who's playing marbles with a bunch of different marbles on the playground.
Bunch of universes.
Back in the pouch of many different marbles.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is from playing marbles. There you go. Like,
it
just moves things around, and there you go. It just created us because,
and
that's
all of those are being looked after by the Church of England. And I know that because they told me that when I was
it's the Vatican, Dave. It's the Vatican.
No, we got rid of them. They were rubbish. We're the second lot. I was told Church of England, sit down, sit up, and shut up. You'll be all right. So I did all of that. So I'm good.
It's gonna be a 3 Scotch day today. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Calm and carry on.
I have a question for you. Do you now regret bringing this topic to us?
Me?
Yeah, seriously, Ranji, before you make a comment, I was quite amazed how you said and nobody seems to care.
Nobody does.
Nobody.
I reflected upon that. We had it in the news here as well. The BBC was indifferent. And it's probably one of the most explosive things that's happened in the last.
That's what's more fascinating. That's what's fascinating.
Yeah.
That nobody cares. It's like, wow, nobody cares. That's fascinating.
Sorry,
The
Rachel.
financial, just really quick. Financial Times had it on this Saturday's paper on the Financial Times. This was the front page story. And usually, because I read it online, I see people's comments. No big deal.
Well,
they all
nobody reads
commented
the
on
Financial
some
Times,
stupid.
even apart from you, so nobody would afford to buy it. So nobody's read it.
Fine. Excuse me, my gentleman will be turning the page for me in a moment. Please turn the next page.
Yeah, as long as he has ironed it before you receive it.
Of course, I'm a savage.
I think the government probably accomplished maybe what they set out to do, which was kind of trickle the information out slowly, literally over decades, so that when it finally blew up and came out, the public didn't just go crazy.
Let me ask you this question.
Maybe that was the plan all along.
To Miss Barbie, because you have your pink on. Let me ask you this question.
It's the wrong week for this. I know,
right? But let me ask you this: if a spaceship lands tomorrow, or they bring out a biological unit, as they want to call it, or there's now stuff coming out of the Antarctic and whatever, and we can talk about the pyramids on another show. But would you then think that the public will be like, "Oh my God," or is it going to be sort of like, "Yeah, we already knew that. It's like no big deal."
No, I think if they come, I mean, come on.
I think if they showed us a body, like I want to see an alien body. Like I want to see. Well,
apparently, so does Rachel. But
lion body.
We did. We saw it this week. A 46,000-year-old worm.
Oh wow!
Which they were examining in a Dutch university, and because of the temperature, it started to live, and it's been living ever since. 46,000 years old.
That's a mummy. That's not an alien.
No, it's a worm.
Or a zombie.
But that's not an alien. That's not an alien. We're asking about if an alien. If they bring out a body or show you a video or show you an actual spaceship.
Yeah.
Do you think the public will get excited or not?
I think it's the government.
It's AI created. How do we know that's real? That's what I would be like. I see it in person.
Sorry, I have to run.
Bye bye.
Thank you
so much. See you Friday.
Yes, bye.
See you Friday.
Don't forget everybody to tune in to Noosh Bits regularly on every Friday. She's gone.
All right, so let's go with your answer. So if they show you a body or show you a real spaceship or whatever,
and I want it to be acknowledged and backed up by the government. Like I don't want to just see somebody's YouTube video, grainy video in their backyard of something. Like I actually want to see video footage. I want to see a body that the government.
I wouldn't trust the government. I would think.
But wait a minute. Let me ask you this question. Let me ask you this then. To caveat that, the TikTok video where the Navy pilots told you that their spaceship went from sea level to 80,000 feet, which is outer space, in a matter of a blink of an eye, which nothing can do.
Yeah, we don't have that technology.
Right. So they have video of it. They've showed the video. It's been on everywhere. So do you believe that, or you don't believe that?
People don't believe it. People don't believe it because it wasn't cinema quality.
Oh, so that kind of stuff isn't. Okay.
I personally believe
so
it.
I couldn't see it. I couldn't see it clearly. I was sitting watching it here, and somebody said, "Well, what's that supposed to be then?" That's it's UFO. Well, no, it isn't. It could be anything.
Now, I believe all things really. If the government were to show me an alien or a body, I'd be like, "Oh, cool." I just think like general public would be like, I don't know.
That's
right.
Yeah, they'd be more concerned about Black Friday than they are about aliens.
And I don't think the government would lie about aliens existing. I think that they would err in the other direction. So if the government claimed this stuff, I don't think it would be,
So I saw I guess new conspiracies coming out. Like, why are they admitting it now? And somebody was saying it's because they're going to start a war. War is coming. Some sort of war is coming, and they're going to blame the aliens.
That's called. There's a show a few years ago. It's about a false flag, and that was the false flag about you have to have an enemy. The enemy is going to be imaginary. The imaginary would be the aliens, and then they'll have these things that look like spaceships, and then they can start a war. So that's called a false flag operation, and a lot of people have been talking about that now for about 10 years.
Yeah, you can see that. You can see that in Europe now. prices of everything have gone through the roof. This is happening, that's happening. Oh, it's all to do with the war in Ukraine. Oh, that's simple. Why? Because there is a war in the Ukraine, so therefore it must be because we know there's a war. Nobody bothers to say anything other than there's a war in the Ukraine. So yeah, it's a nice mantle to put across everything, and that cover it all up.
Now I know
to be scared about stuff. I mean, because I was it was the Russians and nuclear war when I was at at elementary school. So I told this story before.
When I was growing up, it was kids. It was the cave down the block with their sticks and stones. Yeah.
Real talk, you guys.
Yeah.
Real talk. I know you guys have discussed this kind of topic on your other shows.
Yes, ma'am.
Do they tend to go like how our show went?
No, we usually stay away from the anal probes, getting fingered by aliens, and what else? Sexual toys, sexual fantasies. Yeah. No, Brown Car Guy is a big Star Trek fan, so Vicky, you should probably come on Sermon from the German because you two can geek out for the whole hour, and we would just sit there and laugh. But we've talked about aliens.
No one would be interested.
But we've talked about all this, so it doesn't go your way. More of ours goes into what stuff has been read, what stuff people believe to be true and whatnot, how things came to be. Most of everybody talks about it, and I can't pronounce it, and I really apologize. It's called the Vatarami. They talk about that book. They talk about the Sumerian text. They talk about the different astronauts like Edgar Mitchell and whatnot that talk about aliens and NASA officials because they're all fascinated by this. They've all been following it like I am since I'm an embryo. Because when you come from Pluto, you have to follow it. So we've done all this.
Yeah.
So
the
that's
thing that kind of
sucks
is that you sort of have to give credence to the crazy people that we thought were crazy that are not crazy, and you have to kind of go back. All right, so the people that we all thought could still legitimately be, disturbed.
No, I think the crazy people are remain crazy.
Yeah.
I think we should be more concerned about the extremely dangerous people that are dripping all this stuff out.
Well, John
Crazies
Lear
are fine, they've always been here, but
John Lear,
government that takes upon itself to drip out this sort of information in this sort of and by the way,
right? Well, John Lear is big. John Lear
you know.
was big on and disclosing stuff. And John Lear, for those who don't know, is the son of the guy who invented the Learjet. And he has tons of information and pictures that people are like, you're an idiot, you're crazy. And it's come to light that most of what he's told everybody was true. You have Bob Lazar, who gave Area 51, who exposed it back in the 80s and talked about element 115. Never existed until about 10 years ago when 3 Russian scientists found what? Element 115. So, and the government raids his laboratory like on a weekly basis looking for this element 115 because some went missing. So you look at all of this. So it's hard, to do it. We talked about some stuff off air, which we won't talk about here. But it's just the government. This is like the best kept secret of the planet. And it's one of those things where I think as a government, you have to kind of let it come out, the cat out of the bag, because once again, too many cellular phones with cameras, everyone's catching stuff, and you can believe it or you're not, but one day they're going to catch it, and you're not going to be able to do anything. Like the Men in Black coming to your house, people don't care. They'll post it. They can't bring it down quick enough because they can be posted in a second and have 15 million views in a minute. It's kind of hard to do that. People have died under mysterious circumstances when they talk about UFOs. So it's hard to say the government go, no, it's not real. I think they've come to the point like we need to do it. Yes, I'm sure something tragic's going to happen, but this is the best way, maybe. And the public just doesn't care because the public's like, yeah, we've all known about it. Right. So who cares? Yeah. It's kind of like, okay.
There's now something even more tragic going to happen.
We're going to leave the show now. It's done. It's over. Yeah. We have to go bye-bye.
It's done. It's over.
E.T., phone home. Oh, sorry.
Ranji, Vicky, do you guys want to try again?
Can you do the finger thing? Or finger? I got Ranji's finger.
Well, and on that extremely high level of intellectual.
Here we go. I'm coming to the House of Pain. I'll be there in 20 minutes. So.
I'm just hoping that they're now going to beam me up.